Oh, as soon as it hit the water. I've got something on there, but got that one though. Well, YouTube, we're not in Tennessee today. Actually down here in North Georgia, looking at a place that I haven't been to in close to 20 years. Well, maybe once in around 20 years. We got storms very, very close by, so I don't know that we'll get to fish very long. They're supposed to be out of here within like an hour of getting here, so I'll maybe stick around. But anyway, looking at a place that Creek Fishing Adventures recently fished at, using one of his rods. And this is about the closest that I can get to the river so far. One place was actually closer, but it was pretty dang steep. And I have no intention whatsoever of climbing down steep, muddy banks. So let's see what this looks like and make a decision. There's a pretty good sized red breast. Maybe a long ear, can't really tell. I think it's a red breast sitting on a bed right there underneath this log. There's another fish I would like to catch too. Fair sized Coosa bass. Well, this spot definitely looks pretty good to put in. A good wide flat area down through there. Kind of steep and sloppy right there, but it looks good. Now the question is, do I want to go ahead and get down here and try to fish this a little bit, because the storms are like right there. They are very close by, but they're, like I said, supposed to be out of here as soon as I get here, like within the hour. Well, the weather decided to make the decision for me. I was walking back to my vehicle to grab some gear, and yeah, it's starting to rain already. So we're going to drive down the road a little ways to another location that I want to check out and see what it looks like there. Well, they tried, not very hard. All right. Drove around for a little while, found a spot that's much easier to get into and out of, and already seen a little bit of promising sign. So like I walked down here and just kind of eyeballed this, and something was chasing minnows or something other, really, really shallow. So we're going to just kind of focus around between like right here and the bridge up here. That way we don't get too far from our vehicle, because we still have storms roaming around. But the rod we're using today is actually our rod designed by Daiwa here recently for the live scoping, forward facing sonar crowd. This is the Daiwa Power Scope FFS Special. It's a 6 foot, 1 to 3 pound rated ultralight, 196 to 3/32 of an ounce. Micro lures type of rod, super comfortable. Freaking good looking rod. Took a Stratic off of one of my other rods with some Seagar PX8 Lure Edition braid. It's 12 pound, but it's the same diameter as 6 to 7 pound braid. So let's see just how cold this river water is, and wow, it is the opposite of spicy. Also, I'm playing around with a different lens mod on my GoPro, so I don't know exactly what it's going to look like. Today is the first time that I've actually used it. We got a couple of Coosa bass on it right there. Come on. You know you want it. Ah, shoot. Had a bite right over there on the other side of these falls. I could get a little bit closer, but I'm trying not to, because it's a little bit deeper than what I want to get, because my camera and my extra battery are in my pockets. And I didn't bring anything waterproof to put them in. Well, looks like we got our first snag and break off. Hey, we got something. It ain't real big, whatever it is, but, well, it was a Coosa bass. But didn't come in contact with it, so it doesn't count. I've missed, well, didn't miss that one. What are you? What are you? I've missed quite a few fish along this little bank right here. Well, we got a little female red breast. Well, I'll just screenshot one of my other ones for my log book. That one was just ever so slightly skin hooked. Gotcha. This one's a little bit nicer. Oh no, dang it. That was a good Coosa bass. Dang it. He discombobulated my plastic here. So that's the thing with these little Coosa bass. They like to hide in really shallow water. Like that one was in maybe 6-8 inches of water. And that's being generous saying that much. One of these days I'm going to invest in some real wading shoes. Because these Skechers that I'm wearing are not for this kind of thing. Like if it's a sandy, gravelly kind of bottom, yeah, they're fine. But when it's chunk rock like this, it's real slick. Nah, not so much. Oh, as soon as it hit the water. Stay hooked, stay hooked. We have a fine specimen. Chill out. Well, it snagged, can't count it. But it can still go in the video. Dang pretty specimen of a Coosa bass. And he wove me a sweater on the end of this rod. But this rod here, it's designed for the forward, like I said, forward facing sonar, live scoping, you know, hover strolling, mid strolling, you know, with twitch baits, stuff like that kind of crew. Like soft, micro soft jerk baits, stuff like that. And this rod is stupidly sensitive. The closest rod that I have that I could put in comparison with this rod as far as sensitivity goes is my 6-foot one-piece ACC crappie sticks that I use so much during the crappie fishing season. But this is mostly, this rod is so sensitive mostly because of that tip section. If I'm not mistaken, with it being so thin, it's solid. It's a lot more sensitive than a hollow tip kind of rod. And also, this rod is really good at throwing really light baits. Like this is 12-pound braid, and I've got a 64-ounce jig head with a 1 1/4 inch Bobby Garland swimmer on there, and that was nothing for that. If I'd put more effort into that cast, I could have got way more distance, and which would have got me into the bank. But this rod casts ultralight baits very, very well. It would make a dang good crappie rod, or just pinfish rod, or what have you, which, you know, at the price point that this rod is at, that would be outside of a lot of people's budget, including mine. But this one is on loan, so it's okay. Well, I don't know that y'all can hear that, but the thunder is getting considerable. So the storms may be rolling back in, so I think we're just going to kind of mess around with this area here and then just take out over here and just walk back down the road. This is also a prime example of why a sling pack is better for this type of fishing than a backpack. And what's sad is I've got about 6 of them at home that I could have used, and I didn't grab any of them. So pretty much anytime I want to swap baits, I've got to find a rock to set my backpack down on, because it's not waterproof. Well, I just popped off on a snag, and I'm getting eat up by no-see-ums and skeeters, so I think we're going to head back to the vehicle and maybe go back up that way and put in at another spot, see what we can make happen, because this spot's, we've lost 2 and we've caught 2, so it ain't been very productive. We got a visitor up here on the other side of the road. We'll try to get up high enough to where I can video it. Yeah, she heard me. I know I'm going to spook her, but I got to go up here to get out of here. I smell something wretched. Well, the storms never did actually let up. So we drove to another river not far from where we were. And of course you can see the clouds are not exactly friendly that way, and it's moving this way. So we're gonna fish this little tiny little river down here, see if we can catch anything. Now used to, you could drive down here and park on the edge of the river, but you know, people like to trash stuff and leave garbage laying everywhere and all that. So yeah, it got gated off and you can't do it no more. Well, I got snagged on a rooster tail and something else. Well, appears nothing down here wants anything. Saw several good bass, but if they don't end up on a hook and in a picture, they don't do much good. Had my hopes up. Felt some tension. Thought I had me one. But nope, I caught me a tree bass. Got it. Stay on. You didn't. Dang it. Today has been very frustrating. Definitely goes to prove that nicer gear don't mean crap when it comes to catching fish. Hey, we caught something here. Teeny tiny little bluegill. Well, you're not what I was hoping to catch on this rather expensive rod, but we'll take it. Because since today has been very, very lackluster as far as the bites and all that go, I swapped out to a 1/200th ounce trout magnet jig head with a Euro Tackle Euro Grub. It's 0.8 inches long. Figured, you know what? If I want to test the sensitivity of this rod and how light it can really go, might as well go micro. Got another one. What are you? Hey, you got off. That sucked. That was more than likely a rock bass, but there's a possibility that it was a shadow bass, because one of 2 shadow bass that I've ever caught in my 39 years on this planet has been in this spot. Actually, from right here. They're unusually rare. Got that one though. That's a pretty good fish too. I gotta remember I'm on an ultralight rod here. Get you around all these weeds and stuff. Not dead stick this fish, because that right there is a nice spot. And I've got somebody else's line tangled up in here. There we go. That's about a pound and a quarter spot. He hit that thing like a freight train. I kind of rhymed there. Alright, I got it documentified. There's another one right up there that's about the same size. See if we can get this one back without spooking it. And, well, it didn't spook it, but it didn't help none. Well, got a tangle, but I guess I could tell you what I caught it on. I forget the actual name of it, but this is just a little, I believe, 1.5 inch Creek Life Lure Code popper. You can get them at the link in the video description. It's the first topwater fish that I've caught this year, I believe. Actually, probably in the last 2 years. I don't do a heck of a lot of topwater fishing, so that was actually pretty near fun. I want to do that again. I've got something on there, but it's wrapped up in all kinds of crap down next to the stump. Now it feels more like I've got the whole stump. And I'm more than likely going to lose my friggin' popper. I've got one more, but it's a different color. Yep, there goes my popper. Stay on, stay on. Got something decent here. That is a borderline spawning male redbreast. You can stop that because you're sharp everywhere. That right there was fun. Excuse the train. That was a fun on this Daiwa forward-facing sonar rod. Well, I was going to get you into a little bit deeper water, but you decided to be a hoodlum. Now, used to, I could get over there and cast along that other log to the right of where I'm trying to get to, but that's all grown up and I'm not climbing over there and risking getting bit by a snake. Which is also why I skipped a lot of the places up on the mountain today, because I'm paranoid about snakes. I'm not afraid of them, it's just I don't want to get bit by one. And it's that time of year where copperheads are everywhere. Well, y'all, I'm fed up with having my heart broken multiple ways, from snagging and breaking off to losing fish. And we lost quite a few fish today, caught a couple. I mean, nothing spectacular. Really a piss poor showing of the quality of this rod, but it did kind of teach me, like, people think that rods are really no different from power to power, and can't be more wrong. You know, different materials, different amounts of materials placed in certain sections of the rods. You know, having a solid tip rod versus a hollow tip rod. There's all kinds of stuff that make these rods much more different than what people would like to believe. And this rod here, someday I will have one, but I noticed this thing was stupidly sensitive. Like, I've got some sensitive rods, and this one here, I could literally feel every single little rock that my jig head or whatever touched on the bottom, because this tip is so stinking thin. It's so sensitive. From tiny little microscopic little shiners and bluegills and stuff that was biting my bait, to every little rock and stick that it bumped into, I could feel it so very easily. It's just one of those things that you'll have to get your hands on and experience at a tackle shop or something like that. I know Fishtails in Cleveland, Tennessee sells these rods, but it's a technique specific rod. You want that extra sensitive tip, that borderline hinge tip design. Like this tip section is very, very, very light. But me being me, if I ever own one of these rods, it's going to be a crappie rod. Like this would make a stupidly good crappie rod. You know how some crappie are just real finicky biting, real soft biting. You will feel every single bite that the crappie provide with this rod. So I'll leave a link in the description. It won't be an affiliate link because I don't have a Tackle Warehouse affiliate link, but you'll at least be able to go and check out the Daiwa Power Scope FFS rod. So in saying all of that, if I ever own one of these rods, it will not be used for forward-facing sonar because I don't have, well, I mean, I have a boat, but I don't have forward-facing sonar. And yeah, I'll be using this thing for creek fishing, crappie, you name it. This rod is worth the money. Like, this is a loner rod. Obviously, I've said it a billion times already in the video. Do you need this rod or a rod this expensive to catch fish? No, you do not. I've done plenty of videos using Zebcos and all that. Use what's within your budget. Have fun with it. Don't let anybody tell you have to have expensive gear to go out and catch fish and have fun. Yeah, the nicer gear is a little bit nicer as far as ergonomics and, you know, creature comforts, but cheap stuff will catch fish too. Anyway, this outro has gone on long enough. If you want to support the channel in any way, shape, or form, check out all the links in the video description. Anytime you buy something through those links, I get a little commission off of that. Hope you like the video. We'll see you in the next one.